Hello and welcome to the Father and Son Formula One podcast. I'm here with my son Toby.
Hello.
Today we are giving our review of the Formula One Gran Premio de la Ciudad de Mexico 2025.
Yeah, Mexico City Grand Prix.
Toby did a bit of Spanish at school, and as you can tell, I didn't. Ciudad.
Yeah, I got a B in Spanish GCSE, so I'm clearly an expert.
In this room you are.
Yeah.
Things that I don't think I've ever learned Spanish. I did French when I was at school and German, so
yeah, it's always French, and then it's either Spanish or German. And my cohort did Spanish, not German, which is weird. Anyway.
Yes, the Mexico City Grand Prix.
Yeah.
We were just saying before we hit play or record rather, it's probably the most rookies that we've seen
in a single free practice session.
Yeah, Sauber did not field any rookies, and every other team did. Have you got it up, or can we test you and see how many you can name, Toby?
Well, I have got it up in several places. I've got up the photo that they put up, which has all 9 of them. So Pato O'Ward for McLaren,
who is weirdly Mexican.
I believe so, or Mexican American. Oh no, Mexican.
I think his parents came over from Ireland, like his ancestors came over from Ireland several generations back.
Yeah. So his surname comes from an Irish great-grandfather.
Yeah.
He was born in Mexico, educated in San Antonio in Texas, but he considers himself Mexican. And
the fans almost certainly do.
Well, yeah, I mean, F1 fans will take any connection they can get, really.
Yeah, so he's McLaren.
And he's an IndyCar race winner, I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, 9 wins for Pato in IndyCar. Lindblad was in there for Red Bull.
Yep. He's in the mix for next year, isn't he?
Yeah, with the sort of the 4 seats that are all being juggled around.
Well, 3. I think we're fairly...
Yeah, the only constant is Max.
Yeah.
Everybody else could be anywhere.
Yep.
Let me see if I can remember. So, Antonio Fuoco.
Yep.
For Ferrari, he's, I think, a Le Mans race winner, actually.
Oh, wow.
I remember that he was Leclerc's teammate in Formula 2 back in 2017.
A long time ago now.
Yeah. And also being Leclerc's teammate, if you're not quite with it, is not something you kind of recover from.
Yeah, no. The Ferrari AF Corsa.
Yeah, that's Ferrari's, endurance outfit. Was it Jack Crawford?
I think it was.
Zach Crawford?
Sorry, I'm just reading Wikipedia pages about all these obscure racing drivers.
Yeah.
I seem to have lost my... Oh, no, I have lost the list of who. Yeah, it was definitely Zach Crawford.
We should remember that Fuoco won the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Was it when we were there?
It was when we were there. It was the one that we were at.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that Ferrari won. I didn't remember who actually won, who the drivers were. I think there were 2 Ferraris, and one of them had a bunch of F1 drivers in it, and the other one didn't, and it was that one that won.
Yeah.
So was it Jack Crawford in the Aston Martin?
It was, yep.
I think... Okay, I'm going to look.
Luke Browning was in the Williams.
Yes. Luke Browning, Ayumu Iwasa.
In the Racing Bulls.
And Ryo Hirakawa in the Haas.
Yep.
And Paul Aaron in the Alpine.
Yeah, he's done really well in F2. He's the one where I keep saying, well, why is he not?
Is he... Well, is he Alpine... He's an Alpine reserve driver.
Yeah.
Alpine are not a super great team.
No.
And then Fred Vesti in the Mercedes. I feel like he's been in F2 for a while.
Yeah. So yeah, that was. I'm now looking down and seeing Lindblad. He did come furthest up.
Ahead of Sonoda, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
although,
Helmut Marko has said they're basically delaying the decision on what to do with Sonoda next year because his results are really good.
he has certainly picked it up in the last couple of races, Sonoda, which is good. A bit of pressure maybe is actually working for once.
But he's still a 10th off Lindblad, but
it is practice, so...
Yeah, it's free practice, and I've got a feeling they were doing things with Sonoda to help out Max, so...
And if you're a rookie, maybe they were just giving them some glory runs for fun. Last 10 minutes of practice, empty out all the fuel, fresh pair of softs, quali pace.
Yeah, see what he's capable of.
So, other than Lindblad, the bottom 8 drivers were all the rookies.
And you can see that, O'Ward was 0.9 of a second behind Piastri.
Which is kind of expected, I guess.
It's kind of expected, but Vesti was 1.3 to...
Antonelli, who was actually second fastest.
Yeah, he's over a second back. So yeah, it does kind of emphasise Lindblad's quality in a way, doesn't it?
He was the only one to actually break out of the curse, kind of. I don't think the Mexico City track is used for F2. That might be why they're not familiar with it.
Also, I think Lindblad, out of all of them, has been given an awful lot of testing previous cars, simulator work.
Yeah, O'Ward is an IndyCar driver, so it's a very different thing.
And also that means his schedule is probably pretty full. It's not...
Yeah, he doesn't have the time.
Him in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Fred Vesti doing?
I'm not sure.
He's doing IMSA Sports Car Championships.
Oh, okay, we've seen Browning, I'm sure, in an FP1 before.
Yeah, and he's doing F2. I think Hirakawa's a bit of a reserve driver, sports car racer.
Isn't he the old one who's in his 30s or something?
Yeah, he's the ancient 31.
Yeah.
Oh, he won Le Mans driving alongside Buemi and Hartley.
Oh, wow.
And Hartley was a similar kind of slightly older rookie, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was only in for a year, but he was a sports car racer doing driving in Toro Rosso.
Yeah, Hirakawa's had he's won the World Endurance Championship.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, he's come second in Super Formula. He's won the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Yeah.
I mean, he's almost in a situation where why bother going to Formula One in a way?
Yeah, it's one of those things where he is actually a hugely successful racing driver.
Yeah.
And a very, very good one. He just has never really touched F1.
He's a Haas reserve driver.
Yes. And so he races for Toyota Gazoo Racing.
Oh, yeah.
And they are technical partners with Haas F1.
Yeah, we talked about this a good few podcasts ago about how they are putting together, they've got a better wind tunnel and a better kind of TPC program and stuff.
Yeah, things are sort of changing.
It's a very odd kind of situation because Haas are partnered also with Ferrari for their engines.
Yeah.
I think Toyota, is it Gazoo?
Yes.
Are trying to come back into Formula One, but obviously, there's they don't want to be stealing the secrets from Ferrari, or Ferrari don't want to be helping them.
Yeah, because Toyota Gazoo is quite big in the Endurance Championship.
Yeah.
Where Ferrari they've re-entered that recently.
Yeah.
So they're kind of crossing over each other's worlds in a way.
Yeah, and obviously there's almost certainly very careful kind of ring fencing legal agreements around about what they can and can't see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be a lawyer in that situation.
Well, it's just standard contract stuff, but yeah. So yeah, free practice 1 was probably even less representative than it would have been.
Well, yeah, because like half the grid, their pace is irrelevant to the race.
Yeah, 11 of the 20 F1 drivers are actually in the race.
Yeah, and it's like the championship protagonists, Piastri was the only one who stayed.
Yeah, Norris and Max.
And Russell, if you want to be charitable.
Well, I think Russell can still do it on the mats, can't he?
Yeah, even after this race.
I've got like 116 left. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I've got
again, it would require the 3 of them to go on holiday together until December, but...
Yeah, which would be a really tense holiday if you think about it.
Well, I don't know, if they'd all just given up, they'd all just sit around drinking beer and watching the race.
Actually, I think Norris and Verstappen were quite good friends. I don't know what it's like now.
Mm.
Maybe they still are.
Yeah. Yes, that was free practice 1.
I was expecting it to be a lot more chaotic. I actually watched it properly.
Yeah, I think...
Because, what happened? Was that last... Yeah, so that wasn't the Friday that's just gone, it was the Friday before that, and I was off work, so I could watch it.
Yeah, again, we were on, like, American kind of time, so everything was late at night, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much the same as the Texas one, because Mexico and Texas are, like... They're the same time zone, roughly, whichever one the sideways one is.
Yeah.
Latitude or longitude, I always forget.
I think it's longitude, because they wrote a book about it.
Oh, what, the longitude problem?
Yeah.
Because you can calculate your latitude using the sun, but you
can't. And the angle of the sun, yeah.
But the longitude's way harder.
Yeah, you need an accurate clock.
Yes.
Anyway, I think I watched it as well to see how the rookies got on, but...
It was quite boring, I think.
Yeah.
There were no kind of like big incidents or anything, I don't think.
No, I don't think. I'm reading the report, but I don't think a huge amount actually happened.
And again, like you say, it was not at all representative because half the drivers weren't there.
And also, I think the track was quite dusty.
Yes.
It was quite a difficult kind of track. And they were kind of cleaning the track up and getting ready to get going. But also, it's an old school track. It's got curbs, but it's got massive runoff areas.
Yeah.
And a lot of the runoff areas are grass and concrete and not just gravel.
Yeah.
So it wasn't... I mean, if it's somewhere like, I don't know, Singapore or Vegas, they'd be bouncing off the barriers, but...
Yeah. There was one thing that happened.
Yep.
Very significant.
Yeah.
So George Russell wasn't participating.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen this, but he...
Oh, I have, yeah.
He snuck into the grandstands in the stadium section.
Yeah.
Wearing a luchador mask, so no one recognised him.
A Mexican wrestler mask.
Yeah. And just sat in the grandstands and watched. Then he took a selfie and put it on Instagram of just him in a wrestling mask. And nobody around him is looking or cares even slightly.
I must admit, I saw that, and knowing it was him, that chin is just like...
Yeah, if you know it's him, the bottom half of his face gives it away, but if you were there, you'd look over and you wouldn't go, oh my god, it's Russell. You'd go, looks a bit strange.
Well, not really. It's a Grand Prix. It's a big party event, isn't it?
But yeah, but you might be thinking, man, that guy looks like Russell. Anyway. And then you think, no, surely he's going to be on the pit wall getting all the data from his car.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about what they do, and obviously the other 8 were... I think they said to one of the Red Bull mechanics, they said, oh yeah, what does Max do when, Lindblad or somebody takes his car out? Does he worry? And without even batting an eyelid, the guy said, oh no, Max is on the pit wall with the headphones. If there's a data point, he'll be there.
Yeah.
So it's literally like, oh, there's data to be had, there's something I can learn.
Okay, so I've seen they actually filmed Russell getting up into the stands.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. He is actually like covering his chin up with his coat.
Oh, wow.
He's got this big coat on and he's like covering his face, but he is covering up his chin, so maybe he knows that it's quite recognisable.
Yeah.
That is quite funny. Yeah, that's the main thing that happened in FP1.
That's the main thing to report. While you were saying that, I was skimming the report for FP2.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, Antonelli had mechanical problems. Albon slid into a wall.
Mm.
Not an awful lot of excitement really happened.
Yeah.
Again, the Ferraris look good, but, they always do on a Friday.
Yeah, for some reason.
Max was really fast again. Wow, Max Verstappen really fast.
This is practice 2 you're talking about now.
Yeah, FP2.
Yeah. Yeah. Antonelli looked good all weekend, actually.
Yeah, apart from when
he crashed into the wall.
And he had a mechanical problem in FP2.
Oh no, yeah, his Albon crashed into the wall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah?
Oh yeah, Pirelli have been doing this split tyres, haven't they?
Yeah, so they're leaving a gap. I think in Texas the gap was between the medium and the hard tyre.
Yeah.
Was it between the soft and the medium this time?
Or
was it the same as...
think so. No, it says C4 was medium and C5 was soft, so...
Okay, so the hard was harder.
C2.
I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve with that, really.
I mean, was it the race in Austin where Russell said, oh yeah, there was like 0 degradation, so there was no chance to get an offset or to overtake or do anything, and that's what made the race really dull.
I think so, yeah. I think was it just that they, like in Austin, Leclerc got started on the softs, but he just stayed on them for ages.
Yeah, he did about half the race on the softs
with heavy fuel, and everyone was like, "Oh, the softs just work."
Yeah, and then that actually just held up the whole field, apart from Max.
Yeah.
Here's something that's always baffled me about Formula One.
Yes.
On a general basis, if you look at the way the cars run,
yeah,
more often than not, they will use the softer tyre for the start.
Yes.
The first stint on the softer tyre, so it'll either be like if everybody starts on the mediums, then they'll burn off all the fuel, they'll rubber the track in, and then they'll switch to hards.
Yes.
Now, logically, I would have thought if you'd started on the hards, they would have lower degradation. They'd be more able to cope with the heavy fuel loads and the less grip, because the track needs rubbering in. And then at the end, when the fuel loads are lighter, you go to a soft or a medium.
Yeah.
But it seems like most people want to start on a soft tyre, like a soft or a medium.
Yes. What I can say about that...
Mm-hmm.
Number one, some people do that, where they start hard and go soft.
Yeah.
Like usually lower teams.
Yeah, it's usually a strategy to stay out longer and make up track position.
Yeah. But I think the big thing is that nowadays track position is so important with dirty air.
Yeah.
That you got to go as soft as possible early to get a good start. When everybody's bunched up, if you can make your way through.
Yeah.
And then once everything's stretched out,
you can find a gap to fit into.
And then you just got to put in like long, consistent laps. Probably like 40 odd laps consistently, and that's where hard tyres are good for.
Yeah.
To be honest, if they were allowed to, they'd just run the mediums the whole way through because they're the perfect midpoint. It's just because they have to take 2 different compounds.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd just probably do 2 stints of the mediums and call it a day.
Yeah. Apparently they're talking about having mandatory 2 pit stops next. And having to run all 3 compounds.
But that kind of just takes all the strategy out of it then, I feel like.
Yeah, and also it's...
Like being able to do a 1 versus a 2 stop is interesting. And you know, whether you choose medium hard or soft medium or medium soft or whatever.
Or like medium soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I think there is a fundamental problem with the Pirelli tyres, and I don't think tinkering with mandatory pit stops, and somebody else said, oh yeah, they should not be allowed to run, I think, more than 45% of the race on any one compound. And
Yeah, so if the tyres were designed well enough and did what they wanted to do, which is to have the cliff,
yeah,
if they were good tyres, then there wouldn't need to be any meddling with the pit stops. Because naturally, there would be different interesting strategies that would come up and people would try them.
and it does seem a bit of a... It seems a bit of the wrong time to be even talking about it, because we don't know what the 2026 regs are going to look like. And
Yeah.
we don't know what they're going to do, what they're going to do to the tyres.
Yeah.
And, you know, what that's going to do to the strategy. Well, we don't know anything really, so...
It does seem a bit... Well, it's like they did the 2 mandatory pit stops in Monaco and it didn't work.
No, I mean...
That was just a bit of a mess, but that's also just because it was Monaco.
I think unless they go back to cars with the dimensions of the 1960s cars, I don't think Monaco will ever be anything more than, a display.
I've seen people say that they should do 2 qualifying sessions at Monaco, take the aggregate time, and that's the result.
That's kind of what happens.
Well, pretty much. I mean, was it 2024 that the top 10 finished in the top 10 positions?
I think it was about the top 15.
But it's like the first time in F1 history that happened.
Right, yeah, 2024 there was a huge crash. I can't remember whereabouts in the grid it was, but it was quite a long way back.
Oh, was it Perez and Magnussen and them getting tangled up? Was that 24, 23?
It was 24, because then they red flagged the whole race. So everybody had their one mandatory pit stop under the red flag.
Yes, and then nobody had to do any pit stops.
I mean, I think the thing is, you've got to look at, and I said this when it was actually Monaco. Monaco is what it is. It's unbelievably hot, because it's on the south coast of France. There's no, I think it's 2 runoff areas.
Yeah, but there's like a couple.
And the top speeds are like 180 miles an hour. And it's something like 70 laps where you've got to be precision, millimetre perfect. And yeah, it's a bit dull to watch it over and over. But if you actually think about what they're doing...
Yeah. I think the other problem is that they were going really slowly, actually, in the race. They were just... Because no one can ever overtake you, so there's no point going fast.
Yeah, they were like trying to make the tyres last. That was when Russell just straight lined it because he was so fed up.
And that was this year, yeah. But then he got on the radio and said, I'll take the penalty, so they gave him a big penalty.
Yeah.
He should have said, whoops, locked up, sorry. And then...
Yeah. Anyway,
that was a
Mexico.
Weird race, yeah. What were we talking about? The tyres are rubbish.
FP3. Again, not...
Yeah, Hamilton up there. It's good.
Lando, Hamilton, Russell in the top 3.
West Verstappen only in 6th.
Yeah, but again, they're all kind of trying different things.
Now, what happened to Alonso? He only did 12 laps.
Yeah, I think...
A small issue with the front right of the Spaniard's car. It's not really very informative, is it?
Well, no.
They don't want to give it too much away. Yeah, nothing really happened in practice this time.
No, it really was.
It's good, like, moving wallpaper.
Yeah, and you're watching it just in case there's, like, a red flag or...
But even if, the actual sort of results of it don't have much bearing on the race.
No, next race is Brazil, and we got a sprint weekend, so...
Oh, cool. Brazil's always fun.
And the Brazil with the sprint is just chaos normally, so...
The sprint does work particularly well at Brazil.
Yeah.
Anyway, qualifying.
Yes.
Did anything specific happen in Q1?
I don't think any big names went out.
Both Alpines, a Sauber, an Aston Martin and a Williams. It's a bit
No.
low for Albon.
Yuki got knocked out in Q2, but not by a huge amount. I mean,
No, that's 11th.
I'm trying to see what the time was. I think Hadjar was next.
That's 12 hundredths.
Thousandths?
12 thousandths, yeah. Yeah.
1 point.
And he did gain 4/10 from Q1 to Q2, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
Same as Max gained, actually, from Q1 to Q2.
Yep. There weren't any kind of big surprises. We know that Sainz was going in with a 5-place grid drop because of that incredible late dive on Antonelli.
Yeah, where he just hit him. Is that in the USA?
It was a proper Max Verstappen move. It was just like go in super late, up the inside, lock up,
Yeah.
punt him out the way.
Well, we're talking about that a bit in a sec, I guess.
But it didn't actually work because I think he then retired, didn't he?
Yeah, and he got the penalty for causing a collision.
Well, I mean, it was fairly cut and dried.
Yeah, he's still qualifying 7th.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent.
Well, and his teammate managed 17th. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think Sauber and Aston Martin had fairly bad weekends, didn't they?
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, qualifying wise, yeah.
And Alpine had a really bad weekend. They were like 18th and 20th.
Yeah.
Ollie Behrman
Haas started 12th and 10th.
Ollie Behrman into 10th.
Well, considering where he finished, that's actually... How on earth did he do that? Let me actually look at the starting grid. He started 9th because of Sainz.
Yeah.
But then...
No, qualified 10th, started 9th.
Q3.
Yeah. We have both Ferraris on 2 and 3.
So I don't remember who was where, but it was, I think Leclerc was sitting on pole for a bit,
Yeah.
and then Verstappen just had nothing. He was 5th. Piastri also had nothing.
Yeah.
Actually qualified behind Sainz, but gained from his penalty. So he was actually the 8th fastest in Q3, which is pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about this, and you know what occurred to me over the whole season?
Yeah.
Norris at the beginning of the season, when Piastri was winning everything, we talked about this. They had the zero dive set up on the car.
Yeah.
So it stays flat in braking. And Norris complained that the front of the car had zero feeling for him. And therefore didn't have confidence to turn in. And what McLaren did was then develop the car for Norris.
Yeah.
So all the changes they've made have made it a more Norris-friendly car, so he can feel better about turning in.
Yeah.
And corresponding with that has been a downturn in Piastri's performance, because it's not just that Norris is now faster than Piastri. It's like Sainz, Antonelli, Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton and Leclerc are now faster than Piastri.
Yeah. Also, there have been, like, suspension changes, I think.
Yeah.
That's been a big thing, where the suspension... Norris has, like, his suspension that he likes. Maybe for the same reason.
Yeah.
But then, what am I trying to say? Norris, I think Norris has a new type of suspension on the car,
Yeah.
but Piastri didn't want it, so either they've kept him on the old spec, or he's just less comfortable with it. I don't remember what exactly the case is.
I mean, this is McLaren trying to be super fair.
Yeah.
They made a car that favoured one driver, so they altered it back to favour the other driver, and it's a bit like...
Yeah, but are they just going to leave Norris out to dry? Because he doesn't like the way the car drives? It's kind of, I mean, they do have to kind of actually be fair to both drivers.
Yeah.
Because there's the Red Bull approach, which is where Max likes the car so pointy that it's impossible for anyone else to drive.
Yeah, I mean, that's too far the other way because, nobody can live with Max, basically.
Or his type of car. And then his teammates are told, well, tough.
Yeah, drive like Max or leave.
And as it turns out, nobody can because it's Max.
Yeah. If you actually look at the timings, Hamilton was the fastest Ferrari in Q1 and Q2.
Yeah.
And there was basically quite a big difference. And Leclerc only got ahead of him by just over a tenth. Just under a tenth?
Again, Hamilton, he gained less because he'd found the limit earlier.
Yeah.
Which I think is a trend that we've seen.
Yeah.
But also, in fairness, Norris's lap was huge.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the whole weekend in Mexico was a massive statement from Norris. There's been a lot of, will it be Norris, will it be Verstappen, will it be Piastri?
Yeah.
And mentally, this was Norris stepping up and saying, it's me.
Yes, it was
dominant. For all we're saying, oh yeah, they've changed the car to favour one driver.
Yeah, they've still got to drive it.
Yeah, and Norris has just... And especially if you consider the beginning of the year when they were going on about, oh yeah, he chokes, he can't win off... if he's in the lead in turn...
Yeah,
if he qualifies on pole...
That.
What's that?
Last year as well, losing the lead.
And, he was being really open about his mental health and saying about how much he struggled.
Yeah.
He's now, especially these last few races, has just turned around and gone, I'm mentally strong, I'm driving really well, I'm faster than you. If there's a title to be had, I'm not going to wait for it to come to me, I'm taking it.
So the last 4 races, 7th in Baku, which was a bit of a weak moment because Piastri DNF'd. Since then, it's gone 3rd, 2nd, 1st.
Yeah.
And Piastri stayed 4th, 5th, 5th.
Yeah.
So that's actually, I think, Norris turning around and saying, okay, I will capitalise.
Yeah.
It's just satisfying to see it go from 3rd, 2nd, and then 1st.
Yeah. I think both Norris and Verstappen have gone, it's there for the taking, I'm going to have my shot.
Yeah, it does make you wonder what... I mean, this is Piastri's first year fighting for a championship.
Yeah.
Is it just that the pressure's getting to him and he can't cope with it yet?
Who knows? Because he did look like a really strong driver at the beginning of this year, didn't he?
Yeah. I think... Let me check last year. I think he was comparatively stronger in Europe. Yeah, because he won in Hungary and Baku. But then this year looks like the collapse has started in Baku.
Yeah.
Because he was, before that, podiums in all but 2 races in the first, what even is that, 16 races. And now he's gone 4 without a podium.
Yeah.
As soon as they left Europe.
I mean, there have been comments about how they're low, the particular type, I think they're fairly low grip circuits with a certain type of kind of medium speed corners and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Mexico's very thin air as well. That's always a big thing.
Who else? Russell qualified in 4th, Antonelli in 6th.
Pretty decent. Max
in 5th, which is...
unusual, maybe.
He was kind of struggling a bit, I think. It's not... we are at the very tail end of 5 races from the end of a set of regs.
Yeah.
So I think, we're not going to see cars develop for, like you say, the low drag, the low air. We're going to see people making do with what they've got so they can devote resources to next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Sainz, actually, you say Piastri qualified in 8th. He was 2 thousandths behind Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, and he was actually only a 10th away from being in 5th.
Yeah, it was a 10th away from Max Verstappen.
It is, I've been saying it all year. The gaps are just tiny.
Yeah.
So it's inflating. It was making things look worse. Although he was still like 6/10 off Norris, which is quite dire.
Yeah. But again, that's like end of the regulations. Everybody's extracted everything they can out of them.
Yeah.
And again, Hadjar in 9th and Behrman in 10th.
Pretty good rookies performance, actually.
Given that we have most of them, apart from Sonoda, into the top 10, there aren't many slots, and for two of them to go to rookies is pretty good.
Yeah. So.
Oh, God, the race.
Yes. So. Should we do a separate podcast episode for turn 1, lap 1?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So Lando got off the line and got into the first corner first.
Yes.
And then they went, as every TV director prayed for, they went 4 abreast.
4 wide into turn 1, which you just don't see.
No.
I'm actually getting it up on my phone and watching.
Yeah.
So
now, I saw a really good point about this. And if you're watching it on your phone, it makes a good point. The one person who the one person who dodged the penalty massively was Charles Leclerc.
Yes.
Because when they're coming into the braking area, Lewis Hamilton, it's not his front wing is level with the mirror. The front of his car is ahead of the front of Charles Leclerc's car.
I'm looking.
He has actually made it ahead of Charles Leclerc.
I don't think he's technically ahead.
Yeah.
Their wheels. I'm looking at the picture now.
I've seen it as well.
Okay, no, there he is. In the braking zone, where he turns in first.
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, Lewis gives him space.
Yeah.
He could have made the corner. He just sees Max going off because Max locked up on the dust.
Yeah, Max went out really, really wide and hit the curbs.
Wide, he had nowhere else to go.
He was actually out on the curbs and he locked up and went straight ahead.
Completely ahead of Russell, by the way, just mentioning that.
Yeah.
He actually just took Russell off the line, I think.
Yeah.
But Leclerc...
because he went from 5th to 4th immediately.
Leclerc on the outside. There's actually more than a car's width to Hamilton's left, and Leclerc just takes he cuts the corner.
Yeah.
Leclerc ends up ahead of Norris.
Yeah.
Russell goes out wide. There's Behrman.
Yeah.
Verstappen's got past Hamilton.
Yeah.
Which is also like, at this point, watching the race, Hamilton has stayed on the track.
Yeah.
He should have been second behind Norris, and now he's 4th.
Yeah.
So I'd be fuming if I was Hamilton. Leclerc gives... Oh my God, what is going on? Leclerc gives Norris the place back because he did cut the corner.
Yeah.
He stays ahead of Verstappen, who's now fighting with Hamilton.
Yeah.
Hamilton gets ahead of Verstappen, they're fighting, touches his wing. At this point, the stewards have got their heads in the hand because what do? Lance Stroll spins. Lap 6, Verstappen dive bombs Hamilton, pushes him out wide.
The classic Verstappen-Hamilton battle.
Cuts the grass again. Comes out ahead of Hamilton, but I think Hamilton's going to get him back. There's Russell as well. Hamilton locks up, goes off, but then he cuts the grass and doesn't go down the road.
Yep.
And he comes out way ahead of Verstappen, who at this point is fighting with Behrman somehow, and Russell, and Antonelli, and Sonoda, and Piastri. It's just carnage.
But my point is, right, going back to that very first corner.
Yes.
Hamilton and Norris both made all the corners on the track as they were meant to do.
Yes.
Hamilton and Norris were both ahead of Leclerc when they did that.
Yeah.
Why is Leclerc allowed to just slot into second and go, I tell you what, I will leave the track and gain a lasting advantage?
But he gave the place back to Norris, but nobody else.
Yeah. At that point, he should either have surrendered the place to Hamilton or
Well, he
being
definitely should have done.
penalised.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then, if Hamilton was driving around thinking, right, I know Leclerc's got a 10-second penalty, which is a standard, leaving the track gaining an advantage,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have fought Verstappen so hard. Because he'd have thought, well, here's my podium.
Yeah, Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really actually know how Norris got away with it, to be honest.
No,
How,
not Norris, Leclerc.
rather.
No, I mean, that was absolute...
It's what is it? Clear as day, cut and dry.
Yeah.
Because Verstappen... I'm rewatching the start again. Verstappen, I think, also gained on Hamilton, but then they had their whole battle.
Yeah.
Hamilton got a penalty for leaving the track and gaining advantage.
Which, actually, if you see the overheads, that was really clear he did.
But also, if I'm Hamilton, I've just seen my own teammate and Verstappen go off the track. This is lap 6, so he hasn't heard anything about penalties.
Yeah.
I'm probably just thinking, well, we're just cutting the corners now.
Yeah.
And screw it. So I think I kind of understand why he did what
And
he
also,
did.
they said on the commentary, and they were absolutely right about this, they said it was a real failure, again, of the Ferrari team and of Adami as the race engineer. Because they weren't managing their driver. They weren't telling him what was going on. And actually, they should have said to Leclerc, you've gained on Hamilton, give the place back.
But Leclerc is Ferrari's...
golden boy.
Yeah, they're not going to... And also, for them in the constructors, it doesn't actually matter.
Well, no, but
Technically.
they would have been expecting a penalty for Leclerc, wouldn't they have said, give the place back to Hamilton?
Yes.
Yeah, because there he lets it... Oh, that's the problem.
What's the problem? I gotta look at it again.
He gives the place back to Norris at the same time. Hamilton is tangling with Verstappen, so he can't give the place back to Hamilton without letting Max through as well. But then he should have had a penalty for that.
Yeah. It was a bit of a mess of the...
But if you look at it, if you look on the F1 site, from 1:04, they give a very clear overhead that shows that Hamilton, at the very least, is alongside, if not ahead of,
basically,
Leclerc.
The fact that of everything that happened at the start, the only penalty was 10 seconds for Hamilton leaving the track is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if I was him, I would be pretty upset.
Well, he was not a happy bunny.
Because, I mean, give him the penalty. The penalty is deserved.
Yeah.
But I'd argue Max should have got a penalty for causing a collision by crashing into him.
Oh, no,
Leclerc should
that.
have got the lasting advantage penalty as well.
Leclerc should have got the penalty. I think I've seen very kind of technical ex-drivers with the skypad going back and forth.
Yes.
Saying that my brain, Verstappen shouldn't have got a penalty. And they interviewed Verstappen afterwards and he said, no, he said, I understand the rules and what I did was okay. So all that period from really 21 onwards where he was going in too fast and bouncing his way through corners. Yeah. And they've honed it with the stewards. Max has learned exactly how far he can go, how much he can push people off to one side.
Yes.
He has learned how to do it, basically, and he did it absolutely perfectly because he's Max. But, I mean, I know as well, Russell was absolutely fuming because he just sat there behind it all. He watched Max go past him and then just straight line the corner.
Yeah.
And he's like... I mean, I think there's like a lot of attitude now that, well, if it's the first lap, first corner, just go for it. Just drive off the track. Just do what the hell you want.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago, it was the Russian Grand Prix, which obviously doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
I think in one race, a bunch of drivers cut the first corner, but they went round the bollard.
Yeah.
So they were able to, they got no penalty because they followed the instructions. So first lap, I think Alonso just dived off like immediately and took the bollard and gained an advantage, but didn't get penalised. And he was like, well, that's how it works. So I'd imagine he might be doing that if he was around for the next Mexico Grand Prix.
Yeah.
He's just going to whoops, locked up, and he's probably good enough that he could fake a lock up
Yeah.
and just dive off down the outside and gain like 5 places.
Yep, it is. I'm just looking. I can't remember in the early laps. Jolie and Palmer's analysis: should there be more penalties in Mexico?
Does his
One word
analysis
up.
say yes?
Yes. Next question. Lawson and Sainz had a coming together. I can't remember which lap it was. And this was, I take it you've heard about this. This was unbelievably dodgy.
Oh, was it the Marshals?
Yeah, because I thought it was Sainz, no? Yeah. Lots of drivers were sliding and I left plenty of space next to Carlos, but then he decided to cut the chicane without looking left. He drove into the side of me and it destroyed the side of my car, meaning I had to retire.
Yeah.
But what actually happened was he lost his front wing. He went into the pits to get a new front wing, and the race directors, I think, I'm not quite sure who would actually decide this.
Yes.
They thought, all the cars are bunched up because it's the beginning of the race, so they sent the marshals out to clear the debris. It was on the apex of, I think, turn 1. But because Lawson had pitted straight away, and he pitted for a nose cone, which meant that his pit stop was probably about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There was a group of 19 cars went through. The marshals came out to clear up, and then Sainz came along.
It was Lawson.
Lawson, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And Lawson was pretty much spitting feathers. He was swearing on the radio. It was like, I could have just killed somebody.
Yeah.
And what's even...
What he did, he didn't swerve or brake. He just kept going. Slow, but he just maintained his trajectory, basically.
Yeah.
To be predictable, not, like, avoiding.
Well, yeah, because that way the marshals could predict where he was going to be.
Yeah, and he's going so fast. If he swerves, but they've backed off, he's going to swerve into them. It's sort of... That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, it's very difficult. But then the FIA are going to look into it, but the people behind, like, I can't remember who, the actual race people blamed Lawson.
Yeah.
They said, he was going too fast, it was double waved yellows. But I think they cancelled the double waved yellows because they thought the pack had gone by. It was like, it's just not what you want to see, really, is it?
I think it was the race officials, but then the FIA stepped in and said, no, it wasn't Lawson's fault.
Yeah.
Which is actually, in a way, it's kind of nice that they're kind of protecting him a bit.
Well, he's one of their drivers, and
it wasn't his fault, actually.
Was there?
And it wasn't his fault.
Well, no, I mean, you can't be...
He can't see anything from in the car. He doesn't have a track map or a steering wheel or anything.
No.
So he's just driving.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like they should be more, if they're trying to clear up debris, just chuck out a VSC for a few seconds. I'm sure they've done that in the past.
Yeah, certainly in the area.
Yeah. Like lifting double waved yellows because they thought there were no cars nearby is not really the way to do it.
No. I mean, the whole race weekend seemed to have... I saw one brief story that then kind of vanished. That apparently there were I was actually full-on fighting in the stands.
Oh.
And somebody saw fighting and somebody was laid out, but then apparently it's between rival fans, and then some guy in a Mercedes shirt then kind of separated them and calmed it down. But there does just seem to have been a few of those kind of weird... I know the marshals aren't anything to do with the race directors.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just seems to be a bit of a weird kind of weekend in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, with like Lawson and the marshals just should never have happened.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm looking here at lap 6 actually. Lawson's obviously still going round. But everybody is within a 24-second batch, and then Lawson is a minute behind.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see how it would have happened, but on the other hand, these are the race directors. They should actually have a timing tower, and they should be aware of where everybody is on the track.
Well, we can get a map on screen.
Yeah.
The GPS, so they've got a map as well. I wonder if they just saw him in the pits and assumed he was retiring or something.
Yeah, because it was just as he came out of the pits, actually.
Or they thought he was... Yeah.
I'm just actually going to flick back to the results.
It was a very interesting race.
Yeah, I think most people went to two-stop strategy in the end, didn't they?
Yeah, so what happened is that it sort of settled down for a bit with... Oh, I've got adverts on my phone. It settled down, I think, with Norris leading, Leclerc chasing, and then...
Max and Lewis.
Well,
fighting.
Behrman was sitting in third for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
With, I think, Lewis chasing him and Max chasing him.
Yeah, he was getting properly tangled up in that fight.
But then the Mercedes is behind them, and then Piastri chasing the Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then there was Hamilton pitted, took the 10-second penalty, and he was just sort of out of it after that.
Yeah.
Let me just see, yeah. Oh, it's Beaver Ham.
Oh, yeah.
Ham, Beaver, Ant. That's really silly.
Yes.
Shame Hadjar wasn't anywhere nearby. Yeah, so Hamilton was sitting in third, but his penalty meant that Behrman inherited that.
Yeah.
And then Verstappen, Antonelli, Russell, Tsunoda, Piastri. Tsunoda was getting tangled up with the Mercedeses as well.
Yeah, now you see, I think this is one of the reasons why they haven't decided what to do with Tsunoda. Because he actually did his job for this race.
Yes.
He said afterwards, he finished in 11th.
He had a slow pit stop, I think.
But he also said that 5th or 6th was possible. But he was actually being used as a stopper to mess up, I think, the Mercedes.
Mercedes and Piastri primarily.
Yeah. So he was actually mixed up in that, but they were like not giving him the best strategy. They were keeping him out there to block them.
Yes.
And to mess up their pit stop strategy, which, to be honest, is what he's paid to do. It's Red Bull. It's got a very fixed...
Yeah, very strict hierarchy.
Yeah, we're here to make Max world champion.
Yes.
Which so, I think that's...
It worked.
Yeah, and I think that's delayed the decision because, if they got Lindblad or Lawson or... Hadjar in, would they do as good a job?
Yeah. It's difficult to say.
And he's actually starting to prove that he can do it, so...
It's much better he's getting in the way of the Mercedes and Piastri than languishing at like 16th.
Yeah, which isn't doing anybody any good.
So then there's this moment. So Behrman is actually quite close to Leclerc, weirdly. Antonelli, then Russell, and Piastri very close behind him. And then Russell wants to swap with Antonelli.
Oh, yeah.
And then his team is saying like, oh, but we need to preserve our tyres. And Russell's saying that the McLaren is, I think he said, rather close to me, my good chap.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
And he also said, I'm doing a fair amount of damage to my tyres following Antonelli already. Why am I trying to preserve them?
Yeah, so he's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
And he says, I've got a McLaren behind me. Do you want me to let him past? And they said, no, thank you. And he said, I was just checking.
Yeah. Well, he got really quite arsey, didn't he? Quite kind of snarky about it all.
Well, they really delayed it for a long time. And I think that hurt his tyres to the point that once they did let him pass, he couldn't get off after Behrman.
Yeah.
Which also just as a reminder, it's kind of insane that Behrman was just holding fourth on pure pace.
Yeah, and I think Russell was also annoyed because he qualified in fourth. He saw Verstappen go out onto the curbs to go forward abreast with Leclerc, Hamilton, and who was the fourth one? Behrman?
Norris.
Oh, I thought Norris was up the road by then.
No, Norris had the extreme inside, then Hamilton, Leclerc, then Verstappen. Hamilton and Norris stayed on the road, and in fairness to Norris, he just stayed ahead of everybody else. It gets overshadowed by what Leclerc and Max did, but Norris actually just held the lead on pure racecraft against, if you think about it, Hamilton, Leclerc and Verstappen.
Who are probably three of the best drivers on the grid in the best cars.
That's 11 World Championships and probably like 150 or nearly 200 race wins.
Yeah.
I can't think of a worse combination of drivers to try and hold the lead from, actually. Maybe
Alonso in a good car, but yeah.
But yeah.
Alonso 10 years ago in a good car.
Oh, God, yeah. But, yeah, he just held the lead, and then Leclerc gave it back because he cheated.
But then you see Russell. I think he was already annoyed because he was sat there and he watched all that and he watched two guys go off and he was like, I should be up past those two guys because, you know, Leclerc and... Yeah.
He posted on Instagram, he said, turn 2, thinking I'm P3, staying on track, clean and tidy. Turn 3, I'm P6, great.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough, because they were ahead of him at the corner, which is why they didn't get penalised.
Even Antonelli went off and got him.
I would be pretty miffed if I was. Actually, if you think about it, the 3 British drivers in the equation.
Yeah.
They all stayed on track, and Behrman, actually.
Yeah.
Just goes to show that the British drivers are objectively the best.
Well, they play by the rules.
No bias whatsoever.
Fair play.
Exactly.
So it's Johnny Foreigner who's messing it all up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Then there was... So what happened is... Who pitted first? Let me check the pit stops. Because there was... Coming up towards the end of the race, there was one pit stop that everybody else...
That triggered it. It always happens, doesn't it?
Results. Pit stop summary. So lap 47. It was Antonelli, I think.
Yeah.
Because then Piastri pitted, Hamilton pitted again. He was a bit further back. Verstappen had pitted earlier. And then Behrman pitted, which was the big surprise because he was sitting in third.
Yeah.
Being chased by Verstappen, but I don't think... Because I think then Verstappen overcut him. But he would have overtaken him anyway.
Yeah.
He was chasing him down. And then towards the end of the race, Verstappen is chasing Leclerc for second.
Yep.
Because Norris is like half a minute up the road at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I know they always say it, but that really was a statement from Norris.
Yeah.
He qualified on pole.
Somehow held the lead through all the shenanigans. He held the lead.
And he wasn't really involved in any of the drama. He was just out in front, I'm going to win this race.
Yeah, I don't think they ever actually saw him on the racetrack, on the broadcast.
No, he didn't do it. Well, he did. He wasn't involved in any of the drama.
No. Which is actually kind of like the champion's quality, isn't it? To not get in trouble.
Yeah.
So then... Yes, Verstappen was chasing Leclerc down, and they were doing the thing they do where it's like, oh, he's gaining on him by this many tenths, we've got this many laps left, the AWS forecast says there'll be a battle in this many laps. All very exciting. And then Sainz's car catches fire?
Yeah, he actually he did everything right. He parked it off next to the orange They paint like an orange stripe next to the crash barriers where you can. There's a gap. There's a kind of overlap with the racing direction, so you can drive just past it, and they can push you back.
Yes.
And he parked there, and he got out and got straight off the track. And I think normally they would have just let the race run because he was off the racing line. He was tight up against the barriers. There was nothing, but apparently smoke started coming out of the car.
Yeah.
And with these new hybrid cars, they just couldn't afford to just leave it there in case it did burst into flames, or presumably the telemetry was telling them whether or not it was live or dangerous or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they had the virtual safety car to get it safely off the road. Which did, yeah, it kind of neutralised the end of the race, really, didn't it?
Yeah. So there were double yellows in the final sector. Apparently, Verstappen didn't slow down as much as Leclerc during the double yellows, but they had marshals out there, and he didn't park fully behind the orange stripe. It was still sticking out into the runoff.
Yeah.
So they did throw a VSC, which I think all the commentators were really upset about it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a really kind of dramatic ending.
Yeah.
Because, like, Behrman was, like, just over a second ahead of Piastri as well, so Piastri had a chance of another. Oh, if Piastri had taken Behrman, which was likely, he would have been 1 point ahead in the World Championship, not 1 point behind. So, I think that was a good recovery drive from Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, it was. I mean, so Hamilton had the penalty, which is the one thing.
Yeah.
But he did just outdrive the two Mercedes on pure pace.
And he should have got past Oliver Behrman.
I don't think there's any chance he's getting close to Verstappen, but yeah. To have been fourth would have been really solid.
And it would have kept him in the lead of the World Championship. I think without that Sainz VSC, I think he would have done.
Yeah.
And also, I think, we were saying about the front end of the McLaren.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it, especially in this later half of the season, I think part of what goes wrong with Piastri's weekend is he qualifies anywhere in the pack. And I don't think that McLaren anymore is any good at following and overtaking.
I'm not sure if it ever really was.
No, because a lot of what we saw was it was blisteringly fast. It qualified in the lead on pole. It won into the first corner. And then we never saw it really come up behind a car. Maybe some blue flags when it was lapping back markers. But I think that long running, lap after lap after lap, anywhere. I mean, what's Piastri qualified recently? Anywhere from 5th to 8th.
Yeah, it just struggles.
I think that's where it really struggles, and it doesn't, work the tyres properly.
That's exactly what happened this race, isn't it?
Mm.
Norris got into the lead, and it was just super comfortable.
Yeah. I think it was more obvious this race, because you had Norris in the lead with clean air, and you had Piastri. One of the Facebook pages I follow is called Racing Statistics.
Yeah.
And they do this graphic of, I'm going to look for it now, of how much time each driver spends in the race in clean air or they've got like a colour code of like, this is clean air and this is like dirty air analysis.
Yeah.
And like Norris was all green, and that's greater than 4 seconds of clean air. Then you got Piastri in 4th, and he spent, looking at this, about over 60% less than in DRS zone of the car in front.
Yeah, which is dirty air, effectively.
Yeah, and then if you count within 2 seconds, that's like 75% of the race. And within 4 seconds, that's over 90% of the race within 4 seconds of the car in front. Only Antonelli and Hülkenberg had it worse, actually.
Yeah. It was Yeah, I agree. I think that's where the problems are.
But then it also means that if he can just get qualifying nailed...
Yeah, which is easier said than done.
Yeah. Looking down the list, I think, aside from the fact that the stewards messed it up, I think it was an amazingly positive weekend for Ferrari.
Yes.
And I mean, the Constructors' Championship.
So what's the Constructors? Oh, they're second now.
Yeah, but there's only 10 points between them and number 4. Ferrari are second with 356. Mercedes are third with 355, 1 point. And
Yes.
Red Bull are on 346.
Yes.
So we're actually getting to the point now where if Yuki has a chance of getting, say, 5th or 6th like he did in Mexico, it's going to start being worth letting him do that.
Yeah.
Because if they're on 346 points and they'd let Yuki get 7, or is it, I can't remember what
5th
it is.
is 10, I think.
If they'd let him get 10 or 8 points, that would have actually really changed things up.
Well, yeah, if he'd scored 10 points in that race, they'd be equal with Ferrari.
Which would then put them first, because they've won 5 races.
Well, second.
Second, yeah.
Because McLaren have 700.
Yeah, and actually, Norris and Piastri have beaten Ferrari.
Yes. Well, Piastri's equal, but he'd win on countback.
Yeah.
Because he has 7 wins and Ferrari have 0.
Yeah.
What's also interesting about the Constructors,
Yeah.
I think that P8, P9 and P10 are going to break the record for the most points ever scored by team finishing in that position.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite weird. I mean...
But again...
Yeah, because P9 have 60 points.
Yeah, and Haas have 62.
And Aston Martin 69.
So again, that's another race that... Keep watching Aston Martin, Haas and Sauber and see...
Well, and Racing Bulls are only on 72.
Yeah.
So there's actually 12 points from 6th to 9th.
Which again will make a massive difference back at the factory.
But last year, P9 finished the season with 17 points.
Yeah. And now Alpine, who are struggling, are on 20.
Yeah, and they're last.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had teams be last with literally 1 point.
Or 0, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 2023, P7 had 28 points. P7 currently has 69.
Yeah.
It's weird. Again, I think it's all gotten so much closer. And you've got those races where, like, Hadjar got a podium and Hulkenberg got a podium. Sainz got that podium for Williams.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
Behrman's just come 4th, which is basically a podium.
Just if only Hamilton could get a podium.
Yeah, not really fair, is it?
He was robbed, I think.
I don't know if he would have held off Verstappen, but yeah.
It should have been Verstappen and Hamilton fighting for 2nd and 3rd.
Actually, yeah, because Leclerc should have got penalised for his infraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite blatant by the FIA.
This is the first race where Antonelli has outscored Russell, apparently.
What, all season?
I think so.
Didn't he get that?
Podium in Canada. Who won?
Russell won.
Ah.
That's not really fair, is it? Like, come on, Russell, you could let him have a bit of glory.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, yeah, it looks like... The thing is, it's like Antonelli would come 4th, but then Russell would come like 3rd.
Yeah. Gabby Bortoletto got points.
Yeah, he's having a good battle with Hadjar, actually, that sort of went under the radar.
Actually, it's double points finish for Haas, which, considering what we've just said about the constructors...
Yeah, Ocon had a good race. He qualified well and finished well.
And wasn't really on TV much, which is kind of what you want, because...
Yeah, given what happened in the race.
Yeah.
But yeah, good weekend for Haas. Gasly finished Oh no, Sonoda finished 11th, Gasly finished 15th.
Yeah, it was a forgettable race for Alpine, 15th and 16th.
Pretty standard race for
Last
Alpine.
of the finishers.
Hulkenberg DNF'd for some reason. Alonso pulled in as well. Lawson eventually, his car just disintegrated, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a massive side pod damage when he got swiped by Sainz.
Yeah. So Sainz caused the VSC, of course.
Yeah.
I think that's about covered it.
Yeah.
It was an exciting race.
Yeah.
Even after all the first 5 lap shenanigans. After that, there was a lot of different storylines going on, with the Mercedes is having a battle within themselves. And Russell did say he'd give the place back to Antonelli if he couldn't get past Behrman. And it was quite funny because as soon as Piastri got past Russell, Antonelli got on the radio and said, "Well, let's swap back then."
Yeah.
But he did actually, so fair enough.
Yeah. I heard the guy from... I should know his name. I heard the guy from Sauber being interviewed and saying we've got a strategy in place to basically protect Gabby Bortoleto when we go to Brazil.
Jonathan Wheatley?
Yeah, that's it.
Protect him, what? From
His
the
time.
fans?
Yeah, protect his time because, he's a Brazilian racing driver in Brazil.
Yeah.
And, the number of media outlets, press, PR, etc. that he's got to do.
Do you think it'll be even if he scores 1 point, he'll be worshipped as Senna reborn?
I'm not quite Senna reborn, but I think it
or will it be he's got to do well, or he'll be at the wrath of the Brazilian fans?
When was the last time we had a Brazilian racing driver?
I want to say Massa.
Massa, PK Jr.?
Massa only retired in 17.
Didn't we have Bruno Senna?
That was before Massa retired.
So,
wasn't there one... There was one after Massa, I thought.
Yeah. Latifi? No, he's Iranian.
Well, he's Canadian, actually. Latifi.
Yeah, we're both looking it up now.
Yes. Oh, so there was Pietro Fittipaldi as a one-off. Massa retired in 17. Bruno Senna was there for 2 years. PK Jr. Felipe Nasr.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was really confusing.
Yeah.
And then Bortoleto.
Yeah.
I think with Massa overlapping Barrichello, who overlapped Senna, who overlapped Fittipaldi, I think when Massa retired, it was the first time since the 70s there hadn't been a Brazilian on the grid.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-year drought.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be quite a big kind of...
Yeah.
It is a big deal. And he's actually a really good kind of exciting driver as well.
Yeah. He's got a good... He's got momentum. And also, next year they're going to be Audi, so maybe they'll actually be quite good.
Yeah. Oh, he was actually born in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, he was born really close to the track, I think.
According to Wikipedia, Sao Paulo has 18 drivers, including 2 world champions and 5 world titles.
Is that the most successful, city?
It's either that or
is it
somewhere.
Sao Paulo Estate? It's a state.
Yeah, or somewhere in Finland.
I think they're all quite spread out around Finland.
Yeah.
They're all spread out. I mean, Hamilton's from Stevenage. Stevenage by itself actually is probably up there just because of Hamilton. And wherever Schumacher was born.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is unusual.
So yeah, they've got a management plan to make sure that he doesn't, get swamped, basically. Probably they've got to kind of, figure out timeouts and, stuff like that for him.
Yeah. Well, I think it is good that they're considering that, if nothing else.
Yeah. And, I don't think it matters how he does, because, like you say, it's probably the first time in 8 years or so.
Well, Fittipaldi was in 2020, but he was only in for one race.
Which race was that?
That was the Sakir one where, like, Hamilton caught COVID.
Oh, yeah, and everything
That was a bizarre race.
Yeah.
Actually, that whole season, 2020, was utterly strange in retrospect.
Well, yeah, because it was COVID and everything.
But they had, like, so much weird stuff happened.
Like 2 races in one, at one circuit. And
that happened multiple times, I think.
Yeah.
And, like, the return of tracks like Turkey and Imola. I think that's when Imola came back, actually.
Yeah,
and then they liked it so much they just kept it.
Yeah, because they called it the European Grand Prix. Yeah.
Well, they called it Emilia Romagna.
I think the first time it was European, and then it's been Emilia Romagna since.
Because there was Mugello as well, so maybe that was European.
Yeah, but
like I say, that was just a really weird season.
So yeah, it's the first time in probably 8 years that we've got an Brazilian driver at Brazil.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I mean, the last time was Massa, who's he's actually gone to court now.
Oh yeah, good segue actually. That's been happening.
That was slick, wasn't it?
That was. We took like 10 minutes to realise, but.
And actually, he's not looking to reverse the championship. He's looking for financial compensation.
£64 million.
Yeah. But
Pretty
also,
good.
It's really interesting. The reason why he's looking for that is because I think Bernie Ecclestone said, oh yeah, we really should have just nullified that race.
Well, what Ecclestone said,
Yeah,
I think, is that I don't know who else, but he and Max Mosley knew that Renault had cheated. That it had been deliberate. So, yeah, before it had been made public, or before they actually did anything.
Yeah.
I'm just reading an article about it. I'm trying to see if there's any more.
No, I think that was basically it. I mean, it is weird because if they had nullified that race, Massa would have been world champion. I mean, that was a whole kind of weird season anyway, because wasn't it that Hamilton overtook Timo Glock on the final corner?
Yes, and then he finished 5th, which was enough. So Ferrari was celebrating because Massa won the race.
Oh yeah, you can see like Massa's father on TV.
And the whole garage is celebrating, and they look up at the TV, and it is actually quite heartbreaking because they all look up and they all just realise that they've actually not won the championship. It
always reminds me of that, like Simpsons, where Lisa has to tell Ralph that she doesn't.
She doesn't like him, yeah.
Yeah, I think she just sent him a sympathy Valentine's and doesn't really care.
And then Bart says you can slow it down and see the exact moment his heart breaks.
Yeah, he kind of goes back and forth on the video. It's like, look, that's his heart breaking right there.
The exact, yeah, you can see that.
Yeah.
On the replay, and I think one of the mechanics like punches a wall or something, and it's like, yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
It was, yeah. I mean, seeing that live must have been ridiculous.
Yeah. Because like the previous year, he'd only lost by 1 point as well, Hamilton.
Which is absurd, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody else has come closer to winning a rookie championship. Apart from, like, back in the 50s.
Well, yeah. I think a rookie won the championship in 1950, didn't they?
Yeah, rookie, but he was probably like 45.
Yeah.
Who was it? Farina.
Yeah.
Yes. He would have been 44.
That was a good guess.
Well, because racing driving didn't exist when they were in their 20s, so there were no young racing drivers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Trying to think what else there is to say. I mean, I think that's about it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I did mean to mention the Massa thing. That's the only real news going on.
Yeah, there's been a lot of chatter about like Abu Dhabi 21. I think Susie Wolf has spoken about it.
Yeah.
I think she rather unpolitical. I think she's very unpolitical.
Yeah.
And she said it seems ridiculous that like a world sport can be changed just because one lunatic made a mistake.
Yeah, it wasn't a mistake. He did it on purpose.
Mm.
Michael Massey, he manufactured a race towards the end, even though it wasn't a race. It was just Max had such better tyres.
Yeah.
Yes. The only other news.
Yeah.
Jenson Button.
Oh yeah.
He's properly fully retiring from all racing. He's going to do the 8 hours of Bahrain fairly soon, I think.
Yeah.
For Cadillac, and then he's done. He is 45.
Yeah.
Which, is only the exact same age as Alonso.
Yes. And we've got Brazil coming up.
Yes. Let's see the timings of Brazil.
Yeah.
It's sort of late afternoon. It's not as late at night.
No. And it's a sprint as well, which I've kind of like come to like now because you get one free practice and then everything matters.
Yeah. That is the upside, I think. I don't like it because it makes my spreadsheet more complicated.
Yeah, I mean, I think F1 DB stopped when they introduced sprints because it's a fundamental change to the kind of scoring and everything else.
Yeah, because it was based on like they had like races, qualifying sessions, and that was it. It's still stuck on the second race of 2021.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I started the spreadsheet, I think, just because I wanted to keep a track.
Yeah.
Yeah, but should be fun. It will be very interesting to see if Max can make a big gain on Norris, but he's now 35 points off.
36 off with 4. Actually...
Yeah, 36.
36 with 4 races is very worrying.
It is, because if...
That's... Right, let's work this out a minute.
Yes.
If he wins all 4 races and Norris comes second, he'll make up 32 points, because it's 8 points per race.
Yes.
And if he wins both sprints, he'll make up another 2. So that's 34.
So that's 2 points. 3 points off?
2
points off what he needs.
But that then means that if Max is back to winning everything, they can't afford for the 2 McLarens to take points off each other.
I mean, if they DNF once, it's in a race, for example, then the gap goes down to like 10.
Not even if they DNF, if like Max wins and Piastri comes second and Norris comes third, that's suddenly not losing 8, but that's losing 11.
What they need to do is choose a number 1.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think they should probably choose Norris.
I mean, it's difficult because there's been these accusations that they've
been favouring Norris.
Yeah, that's been following them around for ages.
Well, I think they should, if it comes to the Brazilian Grand Prix, Max is winning and they're like, they need to send someone after him. I think they got to just choose whoever's got the most pace at the moment to take the points off him.
Well, you say that, but yeah, because like we said, there's 32 points if Max wins and Norris or Piastri comes second, because Piastri is only 1 point behind.
Yeah.
But if some of those are thirds, then that's 10 points. So that's suddenly, 4 tens are 40. That's within the realm of...
Yeah.
That start... if they're alternating second and third. I mean, at the moment, they've been lucky that Piastri has been far enough back that there isn't a decision to make.
Yeah. Okay, what if...
Norris is 30 seconds up the road from number 2. Piastri is fighting to round 5th and 4th. You don't have to make a choice there.
Yeah. What if they're first and second, but Verstappen is like coming and he's in third.
Yeah.
What do they do then? Depending on who's where, like, do they get one of them to hang back and like slow him down?
Or do they mess up one of their pit stops to undercut Verstappen and force him to pit to let the other one win?
Yeah, it's.
Or I think it's more worrying if Max is winning and they're in second and third, like a second or two between them.
They're going to have to tell them to hold position so they don't fall back.
Or, say Norris is like, I don't know, 5-10 points ahead of Piastri, but running in third. You've got to tell Piastri to let him pass to make up that extra 3 points, because Max is Max.
But then Piastri's thinking, but I'd be ahead of Norris if I stayed ahead, and it's my championship.
Yeah.
So he's not going to give it up either.
This is why they're saying that actually Max could take it if they fight each other too hard.
Or if they do any McLaren-y shenanigans, papaya rules.
Yeah.
It is a bit 2007, isn't it?
Or if they, punt each other off and force their way through.
Either way...
The next 4 weekends.
I don't know, it might just happen that like one of them will have a mechanical and that'll be it. Like one race from the end and then it's like, oh well, X is champion now.
Yeah.
But I somehow don't think that'll happen. I think there will be a flashpoint.
Yeah. When was the last time we went into the last race and 3 people were still in the frame?
3 people?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was going to say 2021, obviously, but...
Because I can see that happening.
I'm going to say 2012.
Yeah.
One sec.
That might take a lot longer than 1 sec to work out. So yeah, I like Brazil as well because it's got that real kind of atmosphere. It's like being in a bottom of a fish bowl, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good track.
It's not just a good track, it's got like really good atmosphere and like the fans are really right there and
yeah,
it feels very kind of like almost like being in a, what do you call it, an amphitheatre.
Yes, they're all sort of like curved around it.
Yeah. And it's a very kind of passionate city.
Yes. It's a good track, good vibes.
I think we might have to pick that up next time because I think figuring out when was I might actually put in a question because Andrew Benson does those questions on the BBC Formula One page.
Yeah, it's tough because you've got to figure out how many points they were on.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I think it must be 2012.
Yeah.
Because that was just makes this year look, normal and tame. That was when there were 7 different winners in the first 7 races.
Yeah, that's very likely.
Yes, I
found the article about Massa, and the court has said he performed very poorly at the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, and that cost him the race win and ultimately the Drivers' Championship.
Well, because he had that mistake, didn't he?
Yeah. He messed up the pit stop.
Well, the Ferrari messed up the pit stop. They pulled his thing off.
Yeah.
They didn't. They left the
fuel hose in. Yeah.
Yes.
Rests on an interview Eccleston gave to F1 Insider in 2023, in which he said he and then FIA President Mosley knew Piquet's crash was done on purpose, but took no action in an attempt to protect the sport and save it from a huge scandal. Eccleston, who turned 95 on Tuesday, does not remember giving this interview.
Yeah, because he's old.
Oh, the defendants argue Massa knew enough to sue in 2008 and 2009, meaning the case should be thrown out for being brought too late.
Yeah.
In a witness statement, Massa said former boss John Todt, Ferrari boss, suspected immediately that Piquet had crashed on purpose but had not believed him at the time. Yeah. Anyway, yes.
So I have looked.
Yep.
Not sure if it was 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
In 2010,
Yep.
going into the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix,
Yep.
Alonso, Webber, Vettel and Hamilton were all in mathematical contention.
Oh, wow.
Which was pretty ridiculous. That's the first time, and I think the last time, that there's been 4 drivers in contention in the final race.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking forward to. Anyway, yeah, I think the next 4 races, I don't think it's going to be decided anytime soon, really.
No, I mean, because Norris and Piastri are still equal.
And I think it'll be a while before Russell actually drops out of contention, even.
If he DNFs and Norris wins, then he would. But
Well, he's basically 99 points behind. And
Yeah.
there's 116 on. So after Brazil, it's very likely that he will, unless he does really well in Brazil.
yeah,
Yeah,
but Brazil will be interesting because there's not just 25 points available in Brazil,
it's 33.
and actually the sprint could be quite big because if Piastri finishes ahead of Norris in the sprint, he takes back the lead.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does because he's got more wins on countback.
yeah. And also, what happened in Austin in the sprint is that both McLarens took each other out.
Yes.
But that then impacted the qualifying in the race because they didn't really have enough running and data compared to Verstappen.
Yeah.
Okay then, I'm going to wrap it up there.
This has been quite a long one because it was a chaotic old Mexican Grand Prix.
Yeah, and I think Brazil's going to be quite good anyway. Well,
Yeah.
I have been Graham Miller. As you probably know by now, I write mystery thriller books.
Mm-hmm.
Toby is also known as Official Tibby, who does music videos. Not music videos, oh my brain. Gaming videos.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you after Brazil, where we'll have probably a clearer picture of what's going on in the championship.
Yes, indeed.
Okay then.
Cool.
Goodbye.
Bye.